19th position, and it gives me no pleasure whatsoever to do this, or does it? Not really. It's the Lemington Half Marathon. Now, this is a race that I do every year. Why do I do it every year? I like going to Lemington. I go and see my friend Bob. I annoy him by leaving my car on his drive. But something goes wrong with this race every year. Probably because it's in the middle of June and it's normally hotter than being in an air fryer. The first year, they delayed the start, leaving people to sizzle. Last year, they misplaced an entire toilet block. This year, they did order some thunderboxes, but not enough. The course, it's okay. It starts and finishes in Lemington, and actually the finish is full of support. But merch watch, medals, there was no medal. I'll repeat that. There was no medal. You had to pay or pre-book. No, 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 no. Just no. You're in 19th. In 18th position, well, it's the Worcester Half Marathon. It started at the now defunct Six Ways Stadium just off the motorway in Worcester. And there was a marathon, there was a half which I was running, and there was a 10k. This brings me to my number one beef. Don't have too many races going on. If you're in the half marathon, you run with the half marathon runners. I do not want for the last 3 miles to be dodging around 10k runners or marathon runners or whoever all on the same track. It's not great. Anything else with Worcester? Not really. I was hoping to get to see a bit of the city. I saw none of it. T-shirt? Yeah, you got a t-shirt, but you had to ask for it and it all became very, very awkward. And as a result, Tempo blocked me on their social media. That's why you're in 18th. Medal watch? Okay. It's not bad. But on the actual medal itself, there's a picture of the cathedral, which we didn't see. Into 17th position, it's the Solihull Half Marathon. This year, I did it in almost my second fastest time, 1 hour 23 minutes. But I have got an uneasy relationship with this race. I don't particularly like the course, and worse than that, they throw you in with a huge 10k race at the end onto a narrow road. All of a sudden, you're thrown in and amongst the smell of deep heat and other runners. Too many runners, too many different races. Medal watch? Well, medal? Pretty decent. Great big chunky affair, there it is, and it's got half marathon on the ribbon. But, hello? What's this? This is the medal from last year. I think we know what's going on here. 17th position. In 16th position, it's another first time race for me. It was the Rugby Half Marathon. One of the reasons I was looking forward to it was because I very much wanted to see the architecture and the majesty of Rugby School. We went nowhere near it. If you are going to name a race after the town or city in which it's located, it gives people the impression that that's where they'll be running round. Didn't think the lap thing would bother me too much, and it didn't really, but it does get slightly dull doing 2 laps. I was ill at this race. I did relatively well. I think I finished it in 1 hour 25, but I was ill. Not Rugby's fault, that's my fault. Didn't observe social distancing. Medal watch, not bad at all actually. It's this chunky monkey, and run through have done pretty well with this one, and it does have 2023 on the strap. I'm going to give the medal some real kudos here. I'm not going to throw it away. Rugby came in 16th. In 15th position, it's the first of one of my trail races. It's the Wye Valley Trail Half Marathon. Now this had everything going for it, apart from the fact that it was in Chepstow, which is in Wales. Other than that, it had everything going for it. The scenery, the setting, absolutely fabulous, and it is run by Dave Talbot Events. My big problem with this race was, sorry Dave, it wasn't very well marked at all. In fact, within the first mile, I went wrong and I ran the entire race with 3 or 4 other Adonises in completely the wrong direction and actually came fourth. Did rather well, but it was in my head the whole way round, and it kind of demoralised me the whole way round.
Which way round did you go?
Wow. Every way.
Every way.
We went all different ways round.
In Merch Watch, wow, I tell you what, Dave is an absolute legend. Look at this beauty. You've got even a bit of sort of coloured plastic which is inset into this beautiful Wye Valley. Wye Valley is in 15th. In 14th position, it's the Coventry Half Marathon. Now this was a total last minuter, to be quite honest with you, and I did pretty well. I ran it in 1 hour 24 minutes. Why is it so low? Just a bit dull, to be honest with you. That's all it was, just a little bit dull. A very steady uphill on the roads going out of Coventry, and then a very slight downhill on the roads coming back. But two things really cheered me up about this half marathon. One was I got to meet my hero. I got to meet Donato, poet with pace, a YouTube sensation on the car park on the way in. Great to meet him. And also there was a rather loud, pretty drunk Scottish guy on the course who was screaming at people as well. That made me chuckle. Medal watch, strange kind of mosaic sort of thing. No reference to the city centre, which is strange because we were right in the middle of the city centre. Coventry, you could make a little bit more of that. A real big mover from last year where it almost finished at the bottom of the heap. Warwick is pretty well the first race off in the calendar. It's usually in a chilly February, but it was my first race since I'd lost a little bit of weight and I felt like I was a flying machine. I set at the time I think it was my PB of 1 hour 27 minutes. Unfortunately with Warwick it is a fairly steady ascent for the first 8 or 9 miles, but once you get past that it's downhill back to the racecourse and the support is good. Medal watch, this one is an absolute beaut. Look at this compared to last year's effort. This is an absolute stonker. There's some real weight on that. I'm not going to throw that either, although sneakily the castle is on the medal. You don't go anywhere near the castle.
Hands, Warwick, hands! Impudent and shameful fool, Warwick! Pick her up and put her down of things. Hands!
In 12th position, it is dear old Compton Verney. It's a great race this. It's usually set in and around one of the hottest days or weekends of the year. It's in a lovely setting. It's a fairly beautiful course, although there is a really steep incline just about a mile before the finish. And when I say steep incline, I mean steep incline. It is steeper than a steeple. But on the good side of things, my sister was there this year and she was running a 10k. On the bad side of things, there were people there running a 10k on the same course at pretty well the same time. There's no cohesion. Just do one or the other. Separate them completely. You don't want to be finishing a half marathon by dodging people running in a 10k. It's not fair on us and it's not fair on them. Do I have to keep saying it? I think you get the point. Right, but medal watch, well look, last year's medal was the winner in my medal watch competition and there it is. It was huge. You could club a baby seal to death with that. Right, this year, what have we got? Lethal. It's like a scythe. Right, you can club a baby seal to death with that one and cut it to ribbons with this. Either way, medal watch is strong. And in 11th position, it's the Alton Towers half marathon. It was cold, it was wet, it was bleak, it was odd, it was weird, it was strange. It was at Alton Towers. That's about as much as I can say about it, to be honest with you. The bits where you are running around the theme park were great. The bits where you are running across a wet car park, not that great. Would I run it again? Still haven't made my mind up, to be honest with you, but in terms of it being the most unique race on the calendar, certainly not the best, but in terms of it being the most unique, I think it would be right up there. Medal watch, let's have a quick look. It looks okay, doesn't it? You know, it's a decent size. Yeah, only issue is this is last year's medal. When I went up to get my medal at the end, there were two different colours. I asked the guy which one I should take and he said either. I realised that I'd taken last year's stock of medals. I feel cheated. who is going to be in my top 10. You need to tune in next week, Marmers.